Hey everybody, welcome to Raptors In The Kitchen. It's Tuesday the 5th of August 2014. I'm your host Alan Kerr. What did Sean Connery say when all his books fell on his head?
That joke is ancient.
I've got no one to blame but myself.
I only have myself to blame. You didn't even fucking say
It's the same line! Jesus.
It's that way though, if you're going to tell a joke, you might want to do it properly.
With some comedy timing.
Have you been interrupted?
You're just terrible from the get-go though. It's a little joke.
Is that Black Dynamite on top of your...
It is.
Oh, nice. That's a good movie. Paul Faulkner's also with me.
Hello. Hello.
You seem a bit downbeat, Paul.
That was a bad joke. It kind of made me sad. I just want to reevaluate my life and my standing within it.
Are we going to keep a secret what your job is? Like, is that a running thing now?
Well, I did a couple of PowerPoints this week. Been taking big meetings across Japan.
There was some
demand,
anger,
some real like.
It was Sean was
furious.
Amazed that he couldn't. That we spent like 10 minutes talking about Paul's new job and didn't mention what his job was. So I think we should continue that.
Yeah, pretty.
So the numbers were good, Paul. The numbers good.
Well, the manager wasn't super happy. But you know what? Fired his ass.
How's the Venus? Is the Venus looking okay?
Yeah, Venus man.
A little kind of greener around the edges, greener around the gills.
Oh,
Yeah.
Would you like to?
The greeniness.
Paco Rodriguez is also here.
I feel the need to apologise for the joke. Well, for my interruption of your lame joke.
It's alright. I'm used to your crippling, like, chastisation.
Okay. I'll take it.
I'll take it.
And how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yourself?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Great.
we'll get any personal talk once we've introduced everyone like Lauren Emil.
Hey everybody.
How's it going?
Alright.
I mean, the joke was alright, right, Laura?
It wasn't very well performed.
Ellie does it better in The Last of Us.
Does she?
Yeah.
She never got to that bit
I'm not
yet.
got there yet.
No, you would have done.
No, that's
Yeah.
in the DLC.
No, it's not.
The jokes?
Oh, no, she does a joke in the main game as well. There's a trophy for it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
My God. I hope I get picked up because there's screaming children outside. Really off putting.
Shut up, kids.
No, the lass is also here.
How's it going?
Last and least.
Thanks. What were you saying about crippling chest?
I know,
You
jeez.
don't have to get that once a week.
You love them? Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, I've made you dinner so many times in the past
He
week.
just wants to be appreciated, man. That's it.
Yeah, but I have been appreciative, but yet you still say shit like that to me, man.
Oh, just man up.
Your work's hard.
Nah. Yesterday, Paco texted me saying, if you're not going to go out, just let you know.
No,
Your dinner's...
I didn't say you're not going to go out. It wasn't like a, come home, I missed you thing. I said, I don't know if you're coming back here before you go out, because I knew you were going out.
Sad face.
Oh, was there a sad face?
There was no sad face.
Tommy, can you prove this?
Yes.
Hold up the webcam.
Do you have a camera right there?
I could do it, but let's what we said. Oh yeah,
What we said?
Yeah. Paco made me. Well, he made dinner and he made me some, and he says it's in the science oven if you are ready. And I just said,
If you're ready.
yeah. And I sent him like 6 kisses.
Was this? How many bottles of wine down were you at this point?
You didn't have any wine until you got there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was while you were out, and he was like, "Please come home, I miss you."
I never.
But not if you're drunk. I don't want to see you like that.
You are drunk.
I got the internet and a PS4. I don't need him.
He doesn't need me, man. He needs me when he gets bored of that, and that's not ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, saw some movies this week. It was nice.
Yeah, I saw one movie.
I saw 2.
Oh, fucking.
Actually, did I tell you what I'd watched?
Nah. Oh, I should have taken a note of this before we started.
Yeah.
Tell me, so I mean, have we all seen Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, looking over at Paul accusingly.
Yeah, Paul. It'd be really funny if you had it.
Okay, so we've all seen Guardians of the Galaxy, which we'll talk enthusiastically about later on. What else have you still talking?
Step up.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
God. And I didn't get invited.
No, I didn't go out of my way. Like,
Didn't shame
I
you.
didn't think on a Wednesday afternoon at
Nice.
3 o'clock I'm going to go watch this. I watched this during duties at work.
Oh, you skived.
No, there was a rough crowd in there. And
Oh yeah,
make sure they.
That rough step up crowd.
Yeah,
With
it's like,
dancing in the
I
aisles.
thought they were going to challenge each other
Yes.
in the aisles, and folk were going to get served, and I just had to.
Did you have a duck?
Were you
Is that
there as
right?
like the mediator, the referee, because you could outdance a lot of them?
After watching Step Up, I reckon I could be some kind of official. Like I know what to, I guess, look for.
How good are you at like doing that kind of spinny thing that Michael Jackson always used to do?
I don't know if I can do that. I mean, I've got a bit of a sore ankle.
That's why I can do it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why. Yeah, I'll take that. So I watched.
What in a like kind of imaginary world where you had like Bruce Wayne's knee brace thing? Would that be nice?
Oh, you mean the magic knee brace that makes everything
I
okay?
think you could outspin MG.
Well, he's dead. So yeah.
Just exhuming.
Yeah, unless in his prime, like if I was the
Yeah,
same
like,
age back in the day.
Like when he used to be able to turn and
Well, bearing in mind, there was actually an incident where Michael Jackson was shooting an ad for Coke or Pepsi or something like that,
Yeah.
and the pyrotechnics went off
Yes.
and his hair went on fire, and he actually spun the fire out.
Did I show that just fanned the flames?
No, there's footage and everything online. Check it out.
Okay.
That's how his downfall started.
Yeah.
Pepsi set him on fire.
Pepsi set him on fire. That's it.
And skin grafts and stuff, and it was like, hey.
I like the feeling of this.
What else have you saw, Paul? What else have you seen? Sorry.
Sorry, just
Just
Guardians.
Guardians. Not the
friends
nut
and
job.
Guardians. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, you know, you've been at the cinema game too long, Paul. You don't know the terrible third-rate children's animations.
Is it
I
by
mean,
the
that's
same
what
people
the
who did
most-
Over the Hedge?
No, I mean Over the Hedge.
Over the Hedge is good.
Isn't it?
No,
It's DreamWorks.
yeah,
Oh, is it? Okay, it's no. Like Disney Pixar top, then it's DreamWorks, then this is like a third. This is like Blue Sky. No, it's sub Blue Sky even.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Studio
it's 20th
Canal.
century.
Yeah.
Well, would you say Pixar, Disney, and then DreamWorks and Sony?
Yeah. Well,
Sony
Yeah,
did-
like Golden stuff.
Sony did
that-
Cloudy.
Sony
Oh,
and
okay.
DreamWorks are like on the same kind of level. At some point,
Yeah,
they go
yeah.
down or up.
Not quite the heart, but really good animation.
Well, some of them are
With
really.
the exception of Cloudy 1 and 2, yes.
Are the Guardians of the Galaxy, are they under the Sony banner? Because like they
No,
flashed that Sony Walkman a lot.
They're Marvel, so be.
Oh, that's just
Yeah, but
separate
that's-
departments. That's
But
just
so are X-Men and Spider-Man, and they're still Sony.
that's separate departments.
Separate
Like your
They'll have a
but
license
bearing
for
in
it.
mind, this is before obviously Marvel had a film studio, so it was like there
No,
was.
I'm talking about this film came out this week, Tom.
Guardians is definitely Disney.
I mean X-Men and that, but you already knew that. It's like film. Yeah, they didn't have the
It comes
rights.
to the point where it's like, who are we going to go with, Apple or Sony for our product
Well, no,
placement?
because he's from the 80s and Apple only
Oh,
made
sorry,
like
yeah, I guess, yeah.
computer.
That would have been less impressive if he was carrying around an Apple II
Yeah.
on his
Like,
waistband.
yeah.
My mom gave me this Apple too.
But they didn't have to show you like the Sony logo like mega up close and
Sure,
shot.
they definitely did win the money that Sony's given to them.
Well, fair enough. Well, yeah, okay.
So yeah, we'll have reviews of that.
Because everyone wants an
And
80s
more.
Walkman, like,
Mhm,
yeah, those
please.
hipsters, man. Hipster money.
Hipster money is
It's good money.
where it's at. I know. Pago, you seem like you may have something to talk about.
Please.
You call me a hipster?
No, because you're just like
Just sitting there.
you're saying how's your weekend, Alan? And then when I didn't give you enough of an answer, you're like,
No, that was like
Disappointed?
just genuine interest in
Alright.
my fellow friend.
Well,
You, Mr. Alan Kerr?
I think because of Commonwealth Games will have been and gone now. Paco attended.
Yeah.
oh, you went to the boxing,
Yeah,
didn't you?
yeah.
How was
So
it?
women's boxing? Was
No, like actually,
Foxy boxing.
we missed the first fight, which we're thinking now was like the women's final boxing, the flyweight championship.
How did you miss it?
Because like Craig was hungover.
Oh man, is this when Craig bought that horrible burger for
Yeah.
like
Craig-
£8 or whatever? it
Craig
was?
was all like, "Oh, I'll meet you at like the roundabout next to the old city chambers at 1:30," and then I got a text saying, "Oh, I'm 5 minutes late." Then he was actually 15 minutes late,
Hmm.
and then we had to wait outside because of Craig Bellamy.
Classic Craig.
Hate Craig.
But you had a really interesting burger. I didn't even know you can get this in a burger. What was it? It was crab and something.
It was salmon and crab.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, thank you.
Salmon and crab burger.
I thought that
With
sounded
a
great.
meal.
So was it like
It was
a cake?
fantastic.
Was it like a,
It was like
a
imagine
fish
it was like a fish cake.
What kind of bread are we talking here?
It was in a burger bun.
I don't know about this.
Oh, yeah.
No.
What kind
Definitely.
of sauces or dressings?
It was
or
lemon mayo.
yeah.
It was really like. See, the thing is though, it tasted delicious, but there was no weight to it whatsoever. Like the box may as well have been empty. It was like I paid £7 for it. She handed it over, and there was like just no weight. It was like
You kind of wishing you had two.
Well, I went and bought a king rib supper after it. So
That's true.
and then
Ate part of mine.
ate part of your dinner. Yeah.
How was the boxing good?
The boxing was excellent.
Is that the only Commonwealth any of us did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not really interested in that kind of stuff.
The uncommonwealth were like, no, that's not getting nothing.
Nothing done.
Because like, it wasn't that complicated.
Oh, I get it.
That's the joke.
Really joke.
4 out of 10, I'd say.
4 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's average.
No, 5 out of 10 is average.
Yeah,
You
4 out of 10.
5.
4 out of 10 is literally below average.
You try to have like a joke off. You try to one up Sweden jar.
He started this.
You started it by telling.
There's a lot of hostility here, though, isn't there?
Yeah, over on that side.
It's possibly that Sean Feely tried to start beef. He said it.
He did say that. But no beef, just salmon and crabs.
It was excellent. Really good.
That was that's a safe 7.
Yeah, so like the box, it was 3 hours long. I was kind of worried beforehand that it wasn't going to hold my attention for the entire
How can they say it's 3 hours long when it could end at any minute?
Because
No, but
Yeah, knockouts.
no, but it wasn't just the one match. Is that right, Paco?
there was like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah,
it
there's
was,
a set time.
there's
There's like 3
yeah, there were all
rounds.
3 rounds, 3
Like
minutes
rounds.
each.
Yeah.
Alright. It's
Hey.
like
But even then, like, you can win by TKO.
Well, you can win
We're talking
points,
like these
you know,
people
it's
are
like-
like,
No, but points is at the end of it. TKO is
Technical,
before.
it's
Yeah, but like these people are like really, really scrawny though. So it's like I don't
So
think
easier knockouts.
no, but like, it's like scrawny people hitting other scrawny people. I don't think they've got the power there to kind of
It
actually
can be
knock
like a
someone
sweet spot that you could just
Yeah,
hit
exactly.
and you're
You've
gone.
got bits around your jaw and whatever. If you,
out. The tiny people, Paul. They're like they were all
where are
about.
you watching, like, slavery?
They were
like,
all
bitches?
they were all about 50 kilograms each. That's how much they
Yeah,
weighed.
but the punch.
We think
but
less than
50
me.
kilograms punch each other.
Exactly. And that was like the heavier weighted ones were like that way.
Is it children fighting each other? Like, what?
Like like when they walked out on stage, you know, on stage in the ring even, I was all like, oh man, like we're gonna get a big fight. And it's like
When they turned
I
sideways, you couldn't see them.
I could kill these people.
Where was it that you?
It was in the Hydro.
Oh, awesome! The Hydro was really good.
Have you been in it before?
Mm-hmm.
I was really impressed by it, man.
I've been there for a wrestling event, and it was
Oh,
like great.
Was it TNA?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Any big names I would know that were there?
The big thing was that MVP debuted.
Right.
Does that? I don't know that.
I mean, I know all
detail,
time, but
uh,
he's past my time.
Kurt Angle was there, but like he was messed up. Like he
Oh,
was
no?
like limping really badly. His match was like 5 minutes, and he didn't do
Yes.
very much. And I think at the end of it, he kind of crawled to the back and was like, "Whoa, I'll need to throw some painkiller down that throat." But the big thing was the MVP debut. You were like, "Oh, that's exciting." Go away. Doesn't matter.
Montarius.
Vol, Heliar, Porter. I don't know what.
I don't think you're too confident with that second name.
No, I can't remember. But that was cool.
Cool. Hydro gets your thumbs up.
Big fun.
Cool.
Thumbs up. So let's before we get to
Did you not do anything during the week?
me.
Yeah.
Not much, no.
You look
I mean,
really annoyed that I cut you off.
Yeah, I mean, that's presenting a podcast, Paco. It's a very, it's a very specific thing that you have to do. You
Set of
cut
skills
off,
you've got.
cut off
Skills you
mid
completely
sentence.
takes out the character.
Yeah, it throws me off my game, and the listeners are the ones who suffer. Really.
Yeah, and you know that he doesn't even like to be talked to for 10 minutes before we start. As well. He gets into the zone.
He did stop Tommy off mid.
Well, yeah, I was talking about something. Wait a second.
And then
Oh, welcome to Raptors In The Kitchen. I was like, all right,
Click the
okay,
switch,
we-
you click the
yeah,
switch.
yeah.
Yeah, well, you don't want to cut in halfway.
I didn't know we were starting.
That's why I had to stop you.
You could have said after the podcast.
we're about to start.
Yeah, or we're about to start. No, wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Right.
Hello, everybody. It's Raptors In The Kitchen.
I can't even remember what I was talking about now, so you'll never know. Never know the end.
You'll never know. It's life's greatest mystery.
Comes with the Walking Dead spoilers.
I'm glad we didn't talk about it because it's not finished yet. So, Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, which is like as it existed like originally with the two films joined together and like an extended 30-minute anime sequence in the middle of it. They're looking to get that have like a limited theatrical release for like the anniversary of Kill Bill coming out. So Tarantino was talking about it and he said that when he first wrote it, he wrote it all as one script and then they were like, no, it's too long. they'll have to split it into two. You want to release it, so it's okay. But he had originally written the sequence in the middle with the anime bit as one big 30-minute sequence, and they were also like, that definitely has to go. So we had to cut it right down. But then when they started talking about saying, oh well, we may actually do like a DVD of the whole thing put together. The studio who originally did the anime bit, they're called IG Studios, like the Japanese animation studio. They heard about this and still had the script and stuff, and decided to just go and animate the whole thing, just like because they were interested in it. And they were all here, by the way, Quentin, we'll finish this off for you. You want to use it? And he was like, that's really cool, you guys.
That they dare to do something
That's expensive work.
Yeah. So now he's like, I want to release it with that whole thing intact because it's his favorite part of the movie.
Here, Quentin, we did this for you. Like, yeah, but where's the money? Where's the money?
I'm suing you.
Okay, everyone's so down on Tarantino's movies. Quentin.
Well, yes.
But I would really like to see the whole thing cut together and not cut the black and white in the middle of the crazy fight.
I kind of like that.
It's good. It's cool the first time you see it, but I'd like to see it as originally was supposed to be shot.
See the way that they did that? Is it because? Sorry, Paco.
No, you go.
I'm sorry. I don't want to get you all Alan Caird.
Well, what I was going to say is probably more important anyway.
Right. Okay. Go.
You go for it.
Now what here was
That's bad TV. Hurry up, go
bad
for it.
TV. Okay. No. See the whole black and white sequence during that fight. I watched this recently. I was thinking, is the reason that it's like that? Is it because the whole? I know Kill Bill's an 18, but is it because of the violence? There's so much violence in that by putting it in black and white, it means that they're kind of not showing. You know that way. Where
it was actually something like that because the Japanese release doesn't cut to black.
Yeah, because it was so bloody.
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole Lord of the Rings thing where it's like, oh, the blood's not red, so it's fine.
It's
that kind of thing where it's like, right, we need to kind of mask it, so there is violence here, but as long as we don't show red and whatever guts whatever and that, as long as it's black and white, then it's fine.
And there is no trails, like when the bride's like wearing her yellow jumpsuit and it's covered in blood splatters, like that was all turned to black, so it looked like she was covered in oil for some reason. Then when you watch the movie, it's obviously they redo it so it actually looks like blood.
Yeah.
So, but like, why draw the line? Like, I mean. The
point,
the point where it cuts is where she grabs someone's eyeball at their head and then it cuts to black and white and it's like, you can't get much worse than that.
I feel like it's one of those things though, like, there's numerous examples of like the licensing boards for these sort of things just being so fucking random with it.
Yeah, it's like it just Spencer gets assigned to it and where their line's gonna lie.
That, I mean, like, it did turn out to be kind of like a cool stylistic thing, especially when it cuts back and it's like, it goes over the bride's eyes and she's like looking side to side, then she blinks and it goes back to colour. That was pretty. Yeah, I suppose he did the best of it with what he could.
So what I was going to say is I've got like a Metallica DVD where some of the songs in it have been filmed in multiple angles, and you get a choice from not even like from the menu, but from actually watching the DVD. You can change between them. So maybe do something like that, where like you've got the choice to switch between colour and black and white.
On the DVD maybe, but they're talking about putting it out in cinemas.
Right.
For like a limited anniversary thing. Yeah. I'd want to see that. I really like Kill Bills. I wonder if they'd actually cut it differently at all, like, or would it be just first film, second film, or would it be more kind of
interspliced?
Yeah.
You would need some kind of like intermission.
Yeah.
Well,
is it like theatres each?
Well, for the double bill of the Grindhouse, there was an intermission. It was like a 10-minute intermission.
I think Grindhouse together is longer than what Kill Bill 1 and 2 would be. Like the first Kill Bill is only like an hour and a half. It's not that long.
I think it's longer than that.
No, honestly, it's like as short as it was ever made because it is just like a straightforward kind of.
Like the last sequence in the House of Lilies is like 45 minutes long alone.
But I mean, what else happens? Like,
I think the first one's about 2.5 hours.
I don't know, is it 2.5? I thought Volume 2 was longer than Volume 1.
Yeah, Volume 2 is like 2.5 hours.
Fact checking here for the people at home.
Yeah. I don't know where to find running times on oh, there we are. No, I don't know where to find running times on.
111 minutes.
So yeah, like
just shy of 2 hours.
Yeah, that's a bit longer than I thought, I guess. But definitely short for a Tarantino movie. Like his movies are all like 2.5 hours. So yeah, there they are. Paul Feig, F-E-I-G.
Maybe Feig or Feige. I don't know.
Feige.
Could be a soft J.
Yeah.
Who directed Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
Parts
of Arrested Development.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
And same as the American Office, he did like a couple episodes of that as well. So it's not just he's like from TV.
All right, cool. Well, he has been rumoured for the Ghostbusters sequel reboot type thing.
3. Yeah.
But the new rumour is that it's going to be like an all-female cast who are the new Ghostbusters.
Right.
Like, and it's not supposed to be like a, not really a direct sequel, but not really a reboot. It's like these are the Ghostbusters happened, and now
So it's like a franchise they're trying to be
yeah,
like the Ghostbusters.
yeah, and these are like 3 women who like want to be Ghostbusters.
Will it still
Is
be
the rumor.
in New York?
I guess so.
So is it going to be like a caper comedy then? I know Ghostbusters was pretty much a caper comedy, but how are they going to have the technology that the Ghostbusters had? Like, are they?
I'm assuming they'll have a lot better technology because it's been 30 years.
But the Ghostbusters technology was pretty damn cool. Like, you got the
Yeah.
traps and like how they get stored.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot you could do with that
Yeah.
in terms of both like cool sci-fi stuff and comedy stuff.
Do you want to see more Ghostbusters?
I mean, I'd like to see Kristen Wiig.
Oh no.
You don't want Kristen Wiig?
No, like I kind of do, but not in Ghostbusters.
Why?
I don't know. Who would she be? Like the kind of Peter Venkman kind of?
Well, I mean, you don't necessarily need a new Peter Venkman and a new Egon and stuff.
I don't know, like you kind of they are like pretty good examples of the kind of caricatures of the foursome.
Yeah.
Sort of smart, sarcastic.
Plus, if it's the dude that did Bridesmaids and she's in it, then there's a big chance that Melissa McCarthy might be in it.
Yeah, but
and that
Melissa
would
McCarthy,
fucking ruin it.
Melissa McCarthy was good in Bridesmaids though. But Emma Stone was rumoured, like she's obviously a big Bill Murray fan and a big Ghostbusters fan, and she was rumoured to be like to be in it before any of this stuff happened, like as like
I think that's what Bill Murray put on his Facebook was a picture of just him, Woody Harrelson, and Emma Stone from Says Zombieland just dressed as Ghostbusters. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah.
Did you ever pretend that your toaster was a trap from the Ghostbusters when you were kids?
No, I had the trap.
I had the trap as well. Yeah.
I was poor.
I was like really. Do you remember like? So did you never had the pack or the gun?
I think my mate Stephen may have had the pack.
Do you see the actual gun? It came with like a big yellow foam thing that you could stick on it as if it was the. And you could,
The beam?
yeah, you would press a button and it'd be like there's the beam. So you just I could like poke Paul with it and that means he's caught. You know, it was quite. I was like, hey, fit into this trap. Put your finger in that trap, and there you're caught. Yeah. Did you like the Ghostbusters? I mean, like you're a bit younger than me, so.
I probably saw the cartoons before I saw
Same
the
with me.
movies.
Yeah, I got
Real
into the
Ghostbusters.
cartoons. Yeah.
Which ones?
The real Ghostbusters was one that was like they were on, but like that was kind of a part watch. But then the Extreme Ghostbusters, which had the female lead and was kind of drawing like a kind of grittier style.
Was that the
a
one
big
where one of the
to watch.
Ghostbusters was in a wheelchair?
Yes.
See,
Yeah.
that's the one I didn't watch. I watched the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
When Egon was blonde for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more like those were more like
Slimer was like
toys were around.
Yeah. Slimer was our sidekick. Yeah.
But kind of Ghostbusters for me was what same as Paco. Like one of my friends had not only like the Ghostbuster toys, but he also had like the Sega Mega Drive.
Mm.
So it was like, oh, this is like the guy who I go to his house to like play with his toys and then like see him second. But then I saw Ghostbusters when I was like maybe.
I want to
15.
clarify here that Stephen is my mate.
No, that's sorry.
Don't just use them for games and toys.
I'm not really friends with the guy who I used to. He stopped buying toys.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like the second Ghostbusters movie. I really do.
I like Ghostbusters.
It's seen as like sack. I think Steven's one of them. I'm sure.
I don't know about that. Like,
I'm
I
sure
think
Steven's
it's
not a
good.
fan of the second one. I was like, man, why? It's fun.
It's not
Ghostbusters.
as good as the first one.
No, but it's still good.
It's got a dancing toaster though.
Yes, it does. What songs it dance to?
Higher.
That's right.
Yeah, your love is.
Oh, tune.
Yes, it is a tune. But yeah, I don't know if for me, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, you know what? I just like Ghostbusters where it's at, and just leave it, please.
Yeah. Sleep it alone.
It's very much like
It's easy to say that though.
Of course, it's
Like, but like if they make a shit one, then it's just another shit remake to add to the pile of shit remakes. But there's every chance that it may actually be good. They'd be like, man, I wasn't looking for a new Ghostbusters, but I'm really fucking glad they did.
No. Until that happens, then just leave it alone.
Yeah, it's like
Until we get something to watch, like
Yeah.
for us to review, then.
the new Turtles movie might be good,
Oh,
It's
fucking
probably
hell!
not
but I doubt it.
Did you guys see that poster?
The band one.
Released in Australia on the September 11th. and the poster is the turtles jumping out of an exploding skyscraper. Someone was dropped the ball that day.
Did you see what Megan Fox had to say to all the haters?
Yeah, it was like, oh, you're going to like this movie anyway, so just shut the fuck up or something like
It was
that.
like there was some panel and they're like, yeah, what do you think about the whole backlash from all the fans? And she was kind of like, let me tell you something, right? How much money did Transformers 4 make? Exactly. It made loads. So these people can just fuck off because they're gonna watch it any way you slice it.
I will not pay money to watch that film.
No way.
That is a fact.
Yeah. No.
You hear that, Fox?
Or any other film Michael Bay ever makes.
So it was quite funny because even I was one of the producers was like not happy that Megan Fox was coming on as April O'Neil, and as much as like the Turtles design is shit, like she's a big factor of why I was like, of all the people you chose to be April O'Neil, you chose Megan Fox.
You know,
I don't
fun,
think that's
brave,
going to be the
courageous.
worst. That's not going to be the worst aspect of that film.
No,
But the Turtles themselves
Yeah.
are going to
Yeah.
be so fucking crap.
Yeah, I mean it's not being directed by Michael Bay. It's Platinum
Yeah.
Dunes are overseeing it, and it's Jonathan Liebsman. I think there's a guy who did Tron Legacy, and I think he's directing it. But still, yeah.
He knows good CGI when he sees it. Strong Legacy, like, with the exception of Thingy's face, Clue's face.
Like, I think people are more harsher than that in the show.
I think sometimes it looks
Sometimes
pretty
it looks really good,
good.
sometimes it looks really
In the grid.
Oh, yeah, it
it
looks better.
It was better, but yeah.
rather than when he's
At the start of the
you're
movie,
like,
yeah, it's kind of
"Ah."
like, we're all from the same team. It's like, weird Bridges face.
Yeah, but I'm getting back to Ghostbusters. I don't really care.
I think that the idea is kind of simple enough that it can be done like so many different ways. Like just a group of young weirdos who catch ghosts in New York.
Get Lord and Miller in.
Yeah, exactly. Get those two guys in. Two the Jump Street guys. What Chance Meatball guys.
And if they came on as directors, then I'd start getting very interested because they know how to make comedies that are self-aware of what they are.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
20 Jump Street in itself, a reboot of like
Does it need to be self-aware? Ghostbusters 1 and 2 weren't.
No. But it's more like it's the same as like when you watch 21 Jump Street. That could have just been any other kind of buddy cop comedy vehicle, but that and the second one is like the way they've done it is they make the film and every so aware that it is a sequel.
Well, I
It's a
think
franchise.
Well,
with
they did it with
Ghostbusters,
Ghostbusters.
like, I think with Ghostbusters, the line that they could walk is sort of acknowledging, because this kind of 30 years down the line, new people taking on, they could acknowledge the legacy that they're carrying
Yeah,
on of the Ghostbuster name.
Yeah, that they can work with that because within the reality of that movie, the Ghostbusters are
They're
outside
famous,
Wales.
yeah.
Not good, yeah.
And that's an easy, you just, they're down and out or not follow. We do kind of a Muppets type story where nobody cares about them anymore. These ones want to restart or are brought in as
Or they could go
temps or-
completely the opposite way of like they're so famous now that they don't want to be Ghostbusters
That's right,
anymore.
yeah,
They're
that's
just
right.
like,
Yeah.
why are these
Or
kids
they're just too old for it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like your suggestion there, Paul, is kind of the way Ghostbusters 2 starts because you remember the Ghostbusters are being hired for like kids' birthday parties
Yeah.
because nobody cares about them because they get heavily taxed for
It'll be
going up this.
Egon teaching a class at NYU about paranormal
Yeah.
studies and stuff like that.
And then one student will stay behind and say, is the
Dr.
stories about
Spangler?
you? Yeah, the stories about you true? Because I like reading reports and you used to be my hero and now.
Shia LaBeouf will be there or something.
Just heckling.
With his bag over his head.
I'm not a heckler.
Some sad news for Laura and Taco.
Ghibli.
Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli. Well, first of all, the rumor was that they were shut down, but that was quickly kind of squashed. And they're now saying they've taken a break from production of any new films to restructure the company.
My question here is this new news? Is it news?
No, well, it's
We
always
spoke
been
about
on
it
the
months ago.
cards for a while, like because of Miyazaki's kind of retirement. He has always said that when he's ready to retire, like finally retire, not do a Jordan comeback or a Jay-Z comeback, for like what he's done a couple of times. When he's finally ready to go, he doesn't know, like that's him done, and what he doesn't really know where the company's going to go after that.
Doesn't he have a son?
He does have a son, but he's not sure if the company is going to keep going. Like just
His son did one of the movies.
he
didn't
did Tales from Earthsea, and it was awful.
It's pretty balls.
But like just the fact that the reason why they're restructuring the company, from what I've read in the articles that I've seen this morning, is the amount of money it costs to make Ghibli films is astronomical. Like The Wind Rises has made £90 million, and that's still not covered the cost of production.
Yeah.
they've definitely not outsourced any of the animation to anywhere else. Like they could go to South Korea and they've probably computer generated. They're very much in their kind of hand drawing.
Yeah.
They do a mixture of both, but it is very traditional, and they've kept it in Japan, which is fantastic. It's like the last dying studio that does that. So I think that the restructure of the company is to think about like where we're going to go. Are we going to keep making movies, or are we just going to? Because he said in the article that I read that he could just have 5 people working for him to keep the kind of copyright going, and that's it.
Sell Totoro dolls.
Yeah, sell Totoro dolls.
So just like make money off the back catalogue
make
and
money
then,
off the back
and
catalogue
then maybe come back later.
Yeah,
and
Aren't they owned by Disney?
No, they're not. Disney
Are
have
they
the
distributed
rights.
by them?
Disney have the US distributing rights, all because the
John Lasseter.
John Lasseter took
That
over.
must give them a fair amount of money.
It does, but they're not as. I think maybe the Japanese market has kind of changed as well. It's not very. It's become a lot more Western and the kind of Hollywood big blockbusters, like Marvel turns up and all these outside competitors, and it's a shame because it is a dying art form.
Is Studio Ghibli a cult kind of size studio, or like are they considered to be mainstream? Like,
I think they're mainstream in Japan. They're certainly most of their movies are shown they're either shown first in cinema or they do very exclusive television premieres with Tokyo TV, which is one of the television companies in Japan, one of the main ones. They do have kind of special premieres on television, which just get a lot of high numbers, but it's declining a lot more now. Like the reception of The Wind Rises in Japan wasn't great because they found it very disrespectful of how they were speaking about the main character, and kind of the association of him in the war and all this kind of stuff was not very well received. But like Japanese film industry is quite, it's like many other film industries, like our film industry. It is kind of it's got turning over and stuff like that, but it can't really compete with Hollywood. And like coming from other movies that I've seen from Japan, like animated movies, like the real action ones as well, from like the Death Note ones and the Evangelion movies as well, they were very successful. I think it just depends on the niche of what's popular. Like Evangelion is mega popular in Japan, so if they release another Evangelion movie, everyone will go see it.
It is a shame though, because like Ghibli are like one of the only studios who steer away from the whole like, oh, it's a bunch of teenage soldiers and giant mechs fighting monsters thing that seems to just be ubiquitous. There's so much animated.
Yeah.
You know, like Ghibli, like fair enough, it always kind of follows a really young protagonist. But like the stories are so different.
They are, and it's very. I feel that they've always followed a kind of fairy tale kind of aspect of their work, and they're not shy. Like many people do see Studio Ghibli as a children's studio.
Yeah.
They're very much not a children's studio. Like I was very shocked about the really saw Princess Mononoke this week. That it's a 12.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how the fuck is it? No, it's not a 12. It's a PG. I thought that at least
That's
could be
crazy.
a 12A. Like people get.
Like in the opening scene,
decapitated.
in the opening scene, he shoots an arrow at someone's head and it pops off.
Yeah, I didn't realise they were seen as a kids thing because Mononoke's the only one I've seen. I was like, that's not a kids movie.
Mononoke's probably one of the more
Most violent
kind
one.
of like a lot of them don't have any. But
Well,
like
you were saying Totoro's a kids movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Totoro is a
But
kid's
like, I mean, Totoro has some kind of grim moments in it, but like it never shows you any violence. Like Grave of the Fireflies, on the other hand.
Is that a Ghibli movie?
Yeah.
Like when Totoro was released, it was a double bill with.
Well, it's because Game of Fireflies is on first,
I
and then
just said that
Totoro
one
was
first.
there to help you get over the grimness. And it's like Studio Ghibli are never afraid of combating an issue, or they'll put like Game of Fireflies is 2 kids in the war, and when the Kyoto was getting firebombed in the war, and the kids die, and it's grim, like it's a mega grim movie, and they're not afraid of. They do it in a way that is mega grim, and they're not afraid to they don't pull punches, but they do it in a way that's not pandering or condescending to the viewer. They just kind of go, this is our story, and this is how we're going to tell it, and like Spirited Away is just about this kind of.
So if I had kids,
these are the films I would show.
I wouldn't show them Princess Mononoke or Grave of the Fireflies until they were older.
Yeah, but it's
like Spirited Away and Hell's Moving Castle are 2 fucking excellent
and
films.
there's always a moral to their movies as well. Like Hell's Moving Castle is very much like vanity and being so selfish can kind of it'll hurt you, and you have to kind of open yourself up to other people. And Spirited Away is just about learning how to accept your family, and there's always a message to his movies, and it's not preachy. Certainly not preachy at all. I don't think.
Sometimes
it is a bit preachy. Like Laputa is like no.
Nausicaa and the
Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind is all about Earth and like saving the planet and stuff. But
welcome to the Raptors anime.
And like,
do you like Ghibli films?
I've not seen the only ones I've ever really seen are the big ones. But I have kind of gone out for every since Ponyo.
Right.
I've gone out of my way to try and see all the major releases. There was Ponyo. There was the one based on the Borrowers.
Arietti.
Arietti, which I've
Arietti
seen,
really
and I saw The Wind Rises. But
is there any
like
new
all those
coming
ones,
out?
I think those ones are good. I don't think they're anywhere near as good
Is the back
as
catalogue? Yeah.
like Laputa, Castle in the Sky,
Wow.
Nausicaa and the Valley of Wind are two of the best ones.
Yeah.
And neither over Miyazaki or
No,
Like, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I need to look up.
All I can remember about Laputa is that the main character is voiced by James Van Der Beek.
And the villain is Mark Hamill.
Is it?
Oh, right.
And he's fucking brilliant. He's so evil, and it's great.
Kirsten Dunst is the woman in Laputa, I think.
Is she not Kiki?
Voice cats are always so good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they are,
that's
they are.
because of John Lasseter.
Yeah.
Like he took on the dubbing for the English language. Like Wind Rises, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's the main character,
Yeah.
and there's such a pull. Like kind of the way the stories was that after Spirited Away won the Oscar, Christian Bale saw it and phoned like John Lasseter and Disney and was like,
he was
I
ill,
don't
wasn't he?
care what Studio Ghibli movie is coming up next. I will be in any movie. It's like Pixar. If Pixar phone you and say, I want you to be this troll doll, yes, I'll do it.
He was the voice of Hill.
He was Hill, yeah, he was Hill. And it's a shame if they are going to close, that there's this legacy of great film is going to be lost. And I hope it won't, but if it has to end, then at least they've got this.
Yeah, the back
They've
catalogue
got
there,
that
like,
catalogue, and it's on their
without
own.
really many crap
No,
entries in there.
certainly not. And
Actually, Kirsten Dunst wasn't the woman in
was
Laputa.
Kiki.
She was
Kiki.
Kiki. Yeah.
And hopefully they'll be doing it on their, if they have to close it, it'll be on their own terms, not through like foreclosure or whatever. Hopefully that.
They're worth watching though,
They are.
if you get a chance.
Cool.
That finishes the anime. What's happening there?
We need to do some videos
We do.
of this stuff.
We
We've
do.
been talking about it for ages. Should get it done soon.
That was interesting. It's good to hear, like.
Was it genuine interest?
No, honestly, like.
It's like it
Just
can
something
be
that
quite-
had to happen.
Yeah, exactly. It can be a wee bit intimidating to sort of try
Oh,
and
God,
get into anime.
Well, Ghibli is the
There's-
easiest
yeah,
route to go.
yeah.
Like you can't really go terribly wrong with Ghibli. Like I know what you're saying about anime because like being someone who does watch it frequently, there's so much shit out there that it's hard.
Yeah, as with anything.
I don't mean shit in like a kind of just a street use of the word. I mean
It's just
like
like
it's
so-
proper crap.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
so much of it that's fucking
And
rubbish.
the crapness and the volume, like there's like every season, like just like every half a year, there's maybe like 10, 15 animes that get released, and you're just like, holy fucking shit, how am I supposed to?
Pick the good ones.
Yeah.
out.
See if you go like on Netflix and go to the anime section, it's just like pages and pages of like just
Yeah.
the same looking stuff.
But even then, like some of them end up being really good though.
Yeah.
Like most of them is like things I'm just looking at like I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. You know, most of it.
I've currently
Apart from Attack on Titan, which everyone should be made to watch.
Yeah, Attack on Titan's fucking great.
got Ghost in the Shell sitting over there from Danny's little brother.
Watch it.
Which,
Have you
yeah.
ever seen it?
Watch it, man. It's fucking
You
beautiful.
study philosophy.
Yes.
And you never
For
watch.
4 years.
You have a degree in philosophy?
I don't want to
Watch Ghost in the
You
Shell.
I actually did have a choice to do a Ghost in the Shell course in my last year, but I decided to instead go for metaphysics.
Like, which I can't argue with that. That's good. That's a good choice. But yeah, man, like I get the feeling you maybe end up loving Ghost in the Shell. It's really slow,
Okay.
but the art style in it's fantastic. The story is fucking decades ahead of its time. Like there's a lot of stuff in Ghost in the Shell that's still relevant now.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a lot of stuff that you used in the Matrix?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Matrix, like that is the Ghost in the Shell is like one of the biggest inspirations for the Matrix. Like
It's really good. It's
really
really good.
good.
It's one of those things where like I tried to watch that for the first time when I was like 12.
Don't,
And
it's
fucking hated it. Because I always just didn't understand what was going on, and it was too slow and boring. Like I wanted to see people getting beat up. I didn't want like long kind of
conversations.
stretches of
Abstract
dialogue.
conversations.
Yeah.
But then it's like one of those things where my brother loved it, so it's like during the course of growing up, like I watched it periodically, and like with each kind of rewatching, I was like,
Oh, I get
there's
this.
something
Yeah.
here, and then like eventually I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. It's fucking
Every
so
time you
good.
watch it, you pick up on something else, and it's just like at the film festival earlier in the year, it got a reboot. It's been remade, and that's why I was like, it was a secret anime film this year, and I was like, when it came up, when they announced it, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what are you doing? It's the biggest. It's one of the. It's like that and Akira are the biggest anime movies like ever. And
Akira's credible.
Akira's good until like the last 20 minutes, and you're just like, what's going on? But what I would definitely recommend watching Ghost in the Shell, and then I'd check out Innocence as well. It's fantastic.
The standalone comic stuff is also
like,
good, but it's a lot more just like a regular
anime kind of flow.
Yeah.
But if you
it
watch
kind of cuts back into philosophy and just has more of the, oh, let's fuck these guys up.
Yeah.
Cybercrime.
It kind of cuts into like, oh, philosophy, oh, let's punch this man in the face.
Is it Ghost of the Shell or Akira that has the guy on the red motorbike?
Akira.
See, I'm joining in.
I thought you did pretty well there, yeah.
Akira's got some good moments in
Yes.
it. But, like, I think the main problem I've heard people talking about is that because they try to cut it down to make it a kind of film length, they just cut out so much of the structure.
Shit, man.
So it's like
makes
it
no
literally
sense.
doesn't make sense when you're watching it. It just cuts to bits. You're like, what?
New characters.
It's like all of a sudden these people are green. Then a bomb goes off, and you're like, okay, that
And the
happened.
production of Akira was just like the biggest anime production ever. Like, it's like they broke the rules. You don't say anime at night. You don't have it raining.
Like it's so hard to animate.
It's
I guess.
ridiculously hard to animate, and like they use like 50 different shades of grey, and that's not like from the 50 Shades of Grey. That's like they used over 50 shades of like the color grey just for the sequences, and like, you don't film a city because it's too much fucking shit going on.
Yeah.
It just the creators of Akira just went, we're going to fucking do what we want.
When was this made?
80s.
All right, yeah.
Couldn't
It
tell
was
you,
in
man.
the late 80s.
Wait, really? Because I've seen like clips of that movie before. It does not look like it's made in the 80s. It looks very, very modern.
You need to remember it's been remastered a few
Yeah,
times.
it's been cleaned up, and it's 88.
88.
All right, I was born then.
Yeah.
And like there's a fan film of Akira going around on the internet that's supposed to be really good, and they're never ever going to film it, like ever, because if DCAP can't get it going, no one can, because he wanted to produce it, and there was rumour that he was going to be the main character, and then there was rumour that fucking Zac Efron was going to be the main character, and all this fucking horribleness. But,
I think we've spoken up about that.
yeah, let's move on.
Possibly.
Apologies.
Jamie Foxx is going to play Mike Tyson in a Mike Tyson biopic.
Don't care.
Written by Terrence Winter, who wrote The Wolf of Wall Street.
He's too small.
He could. Well, I know I was going to say he could bulk up, but Tyson was huge.
Tyson's giant.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
are
But
they
again-
gonna cover? What are they gonna cover in this firework?
Is Tyson
No.
the one who kept biting people's ears off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the
Convicted rapist, so-
youngest heavyweight champion. Yet he's convicted rapist. He's in the Hangover movies, as you know, and he's
Also the inspiration for Balrog.
Have you read the history behind that? I wonder
I read it.
why one of them's called M. Bison and why one of them's called Balrog.
Yeah, like M. Bison was originally going to be Balrog, but like they changed his name with the one we know about M. Bison to be because they didn't want to get sued,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Because M. Bison's supposed to be M. Tyson.
Yeah.
And then they switched his name with Balrog. It was very strange. In a Street Fighter.
Was it not like, did someone not put the history of Street Fighter on your Facebook page? And that's where I read the
was
thing?
that maybe the making of the movie?
That was-
And that was
yeah,
like the
had-
part of it
had
we started
that,
talking
yeah.
about. Capcom's no stranger to insanity.
Yeah. Because it was you that said that you think Raul Julia, his performance as
Is legitimately one of my favourite
It's brilliant. It's
performances.
the best thing ever.
We'll get into this later on with Guardians of the Galaxy, but like I totally thought they were going to rip off a line from Street Fighter 2, the proper Van Damme movie.
Of course.
There's a bit where Ronan is talking
Aye.
to Rex, the Destroyer,
Yeah.
Drax, the
Yeah.
Destroyer,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and he says, "Oh, I don't remember killing your family. It was a Tuesday." Like, I'm waiting for it.
best line of the whole film.
In Street Fighter 2,
Right, yeah.
Street
in
Fighter.
Guardians of the Galaxy, it was kind of lame.
There's some really good lines in Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, in Street Fighter that was like the only good line. The rest of it's like just tosh.
Yeah, so, I mean, a lot of people's complaints about Wolf of Wall Street was that it kind of sugar-coated the kind of evil stuff that this company was doing and this guy was doing.
Mhm.
It made it seem like it was all great, one big great party.
Mhm.
So, but with that I found that alright because it's from their point of view and they think they're just
Well,
having fun.
bearing in mind,
Also by the end. Of
yeah,
it,
Yeah, it's not a judgmental movie because it's seen through their eyes.
you're right.
So hopefully,
Was it going to be seen through Tyson's eyes?
well, hopefully not. I don't want him like, oh yeah, I just love raping people. Like I don't want I don't want any justification for that.
I don't know.
I've always been more hard.
No. I mean, bear in mind that the book that Wolf of Wall Street is adapted from was written by Jordan Belfort.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm sure it'll be a couple of biographies that are written about Tyson's life, but it's not going to be.
But he can't write, so it'll be
it's not. Yeah, they're not going to treat it as a jovial act with him just biting people and raping willy nilly. I think it's probably.
Would you
gonna be,
watch that if they did?
I think that kind of thing would be like, well, how are they getting away with that?
Well, Jamie Foxx is Oscar nominated. Why is he agreed to this?
That's the kind of role as well where you're like, well, Jamie Foxx, this could be his second Oscar. And in terms of bulking up, I mean, you forget, like, look at the size of Tom Hardy now. Now, if anybody has seen Star Trek Nemesis when he shins on, he's really skinny.
You couldn't believe
tiny.
that he would have.
Yeah, when you see him as Bronson, you're like, what the fuck? Did he just like eat a truck?
Mike Tyson was a heavyweight champion of the world. He was ginormous.
I know he was ginormous. I'm just saying that,
He had
like,
some work to do.
exactly, commitment to the role
And he's
and all
not
that.
really. Mike Tyson isn't a tall guy. He's
He's
like 5'10". He's not tall.
Yeah, it's tall enough.
No, it's tall.
he's
But
just-
not for
I'm
a boxer.
slightly taller than
Yeah,
that.
it's just
It's
he's
not
Get a wee
tall.
Tyson.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm 5'8". I don't think you're that much taller than me.
Yeah, I'm like just between 5'10" and 5'11".
Stand up.
Right now.
But yeah, no, just stable bulk up, that won't be a problem. I remember watching Lennox Lewis versus Tyson. Lennox Lewis was considerably taller than him.
Can we presume that like Jamie Foxx has been cast from his like opening performance as Electro?
See, I laughed there, but I've not seen that. I don't know what the joke is. Is it that bad?
It's terrible.
Fucking awful.
But yeah.
Oh, I was specifically going for like the kind of performance that they're very nervous, like just
Oh
like
yeah,
this.
a little gap in his tooth.
Yeah.
Oh, you understand how funny that was.
So that could be
Interesting.
alright.
Accumulates in him getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Woo!
That's good. Ending him on the set in The Hangover.
Finally, everything's turning around.
Yes.
Rapping.
Or I'm sure I want this tattoo on my face.
Yeah.
Credits.
Why did he get that?
Because he's mean.
We'll find out sooner or later.
He's an unstable individual.
There was a trailer for the new SpongeBob SquarePants movie called SpongeBob. It's called the SpongeBob movie, A Sponge Out of Water, and it's like kind of half animated, like hand drawn, half
3D.
3D animation mixed with live action. So yeah, SpongeBob and the gang come to the real world and they're all 3D animated and somehow get superpowers, and Antonio Banderas plays a pirate. It looks bonkers. They're
Yeah,
pretty good at it, I think.
Yeah, it starts off looking like a Pirates of the Caribbean film where this pirate is searching for a page out of a book, and it happens to be SpongeBob is guarding it, and then he attacks.
Hey, Mr. Krabs is
Yeah, it's in
driving it.
Mr. Krabs' office.
See, I mean, I'm not a fan of SpongeBob. I'm just going by what I've seen. It's like
I think
it's
you
underwater.
could
You could do, man. It's great.
So it's underwater. They're attacked, and then they have to go to the real world, and they get superpowers and a lot of SpongeBobiness happens.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
I think it was very, very fun. The first movie was really
good,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, surprisingly good.
Yeah.
SpongeBob, like, really is one of those things that is designed to be watched when you're wasted.
Yeah. It's like Pingu. Pingu
Yeah.
drunk is hysterical.
Like the kind of like logical inconsistencies that they flag up themselves and like draw attention to are really, really good. About how like there's like I know like underwater lakes are a real thing and stuff, but like for some reason SpongeBob like has a shower like underwater and like what? That's
And
really
it's like,
intense.
there's like a tree that has an oxygen tank.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
it's
like,
good, yeah.
what?
Yeah, I just love that Sandy wears a spacesuit. It's such a funny idea. Why is she under there? Why is she underwater?
Patrick in general is great. As
I
well.
love Plankton. Plankton, he's like a relationship with his like moany computer.
yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
Is the voice for Plankton changed? Because I remember it being a lot more bassy and deep. In that trailer, it seemed like it's a bit more
I don't know.
high pitched.
Another inconsistency, another kind of thing. Who is Mr. Krabs' wife if he has a daughter that's a whale?
I mean,
What
presumably
the fuck?
it's a whale, but I don't know.
Why is it not like a crab whale hybrid
It's
thing?
like kill me. Who knows? Let's not question it. Yeah, I think it was
I
alright.
think good fun.
There was also another trailer. I'll throw over to our resident Steven Sondheim expert, Paul Faulkner.
He looks so happy.
It's song time with Paul Faulkner.
Like, I didn't even know that's what it was until like it was a good friend, long time listener, who put it on her Facebook page, and I played it. It was Big Jenny D.
Represent.
Represente.
Maryland, what?
And yeah, it was like I thought it was going to be like a kind of gritty fairy tale reboot in Snow White and the Huntsman type thing, and I was like, oh,
Which you hated.
yeah, I was like, brilliant. This is another one, but like it's including Little Red Riding Hood, it's including Jack and the Beanstalk, including Cinderella, it's including Rapunzel. And I was like, oh, good. So it was the Expendables meets Snow White and the Snow White and Cinnamon Snow White and the Huntsman. Brilliant. This is just what I want. Music was quite good in the trailer, though, and I was kind of like, oh, at least there's something there, I guess, maybe. I went and did a wee bit of Googling, and it's a Stephen Sondheim musical! It's an adaptation of a Stephen Sondheim musical.
What does Stephen Sondheim do?
Most famously to me, dearest to me, is Sweeney Todd, which is one of the most brilliant pieces of musical theatre, and generally is like a well thought of, quite experimental, really clever lyricist. And like was trained as like a 13-year-old by Oscar Hammerstein.
Fucking hell.
So like
As in
like
from Rogers and Hammerstein.
yeah, like he was trained
Big
with his
voice.
son, and like took him along a sheet of music, and Oscar Hammerstein was like, "This is all shit. Let me tell you why," and just spent an afternoon deconstructing it.
Your work shit. Boom.
Yeah, you
I'm
can.
Singing about pies in London.
That's what I took from the Sweeney Todd the Demon
Sweeney
Barber.
Todd is great.
Fucking terrible.
You're
Piece of shit film.
crazy.
I was like, man, so that they need pies.
Fucking 2 hours of my life I
Pies.
will never get back.
I mean,
Fucking pies in 90. I don't care. I don't care.
But at the end of hey, so anyway, tell us about Into the Woods. So it's not the Expendables meets that.
no. Well, I mean, yeah, it sort of is the Expendables, but
Okay,
it's
so
like the
Expendables.
Expendables that I really care about.
It's the musical Expendables.
Would you watch like a musical Expendables?
I'm just imagining Stallone singing
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
and Arnie.
or Terry Crews talking about his gun.
I don't know. I took my wee sister to see Guardians. Sorry, talking about the Expendables, and
Yeah.
the trailer came on, and I leaned over and said to her, "Right, anybody in this trailer who you know, tell me who they are."
When did she?
She's 17.
Oh,
The
fuck.
only person that she identified was Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I then realised that she had actually identified Sylvester Stallone.
Oh.
And I was like, Harrison Ford, and she was like, nope, no idea. I was like, he's Han Solo, he's Indiana Jones. She was like, don't know who they are.
What?
What about
You're terrible, Big Brother, folks.
What about Kelsey Grammer, Fraser? No.
He's only in it for the very shortest. I don't like the kind of. I think that is more
Bruce
like
Willis?
He's
He's
not in it.
not in it.
Is he not?
No, do you not remember the whole
Yeah,
Three
okay.
Future Days thing? Yeah.
Wesley Snipes meant nothing. Even Jason Statham, who is like a kind of modern one.
What Antonio Banderas?
Nope, didn't know. That's like I said to her, and she was
Puss
like,
in Boots.
and I said, yeah,
Yeah.
Puss in Boots. She was like, okay, like I know who that is.
You know, like, didn't speak.
But he's not like he's not a ginger cat.
yeah, yeah.
So-
So, but I thought that was a funny like
My God, man. When did we get old? When did it happen?
when you weren't looking, grains of sand.
So are the days of our lives.
But yeah.
Sorry, so Into the Woods.
How
I'm really
many
looking
more
forward
full
to it.
moons?
Like Meryl Streep's in it, who I mean, her other big musical part was Mamma Mia, where like I feel like maybe you could cast. It seems like another film which is being cast more to let's have names in, like Johnny Depp's in it again, and definitely not a great singer. And I kind of was Sweeney Todd. I kind of was like, the voice, the part's kind of crawfish.
It's the same
So-
top part, so yeah.
But they want a quirky actor in what looks like a Tim Burton-esque movie.
So they've got both Johnny Depp and
And-
Helena Bonham Carter.
yeah.
Was Helena Bonham Carter actually in it?
No,
She wasn't.
it was
It's
Meryl
just-
It
Streep.
was Meryl Streep.
So Helena Bonham Carter, she's not in it. 'Cause
No.
we were talking about before how she was in it.
I thought it looked like Helena Bonham Carter from like
Oh.
the pose of the
Yeah,
of Meryl Streep
creepy,
being
and-
all
Oh,
creepy.
okay.
and
It's got an impressive cast though.
Anna Kendrick's in it. She can sing from Pitch Perfect.
James Corden.
James Corden, who he
He sings.
Yeah,
He does sing.
he does sing, and he was pretty good
Chris
in
Pine,
that
Emily
movie I
Blunt.
saw.
It's good.
Yeah.
That kind of dictator thing as well.
Oh yeah.
To the two governors.
I was talking about Pol Pot.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't care if no one else is.
I'll give it a
I'm
watch.
fine
I'll
with
watch
it.
it.
I'm sure someone else in the world is looking forward to it.
Jenny Dockery.
Yeah. I love all the kind of things she puts on Facebook when she like puts pictures up with like "fuck these basic bitches" as the caption.
What's
so
up,
funny.
Kermit the Frog drinking
Yeah.
tea?
I'm trying to think, what was it she was watching? It was she thought this was great as well, Jenny. We love you. It was like she was watching Sharknado, and the caption was "Haters to the left." I was like, brilliant, man, absolutely.
She's generally like just such a fun person, isn't she? Like,
But she will love that. Like watching that trailer is like, man, I can totally see you and Jane Orky just fanning it up like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I might watch it for the purposes of the show, but I wasn't too enamored.
I won't. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's right.
I will avoid that shit like the plague.
Cool.
Not that shit like shit.
No. Which I love.
Okay, let's get into the review section. Tommy Vass, you watched Step Up 5 all in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I did.
How was it? Did you watch it in 3D?
Have you seen
no.
it as well, Laura?
No.
No.
I really want to watch it.
I just thought,
Do you
well,
want to give us a brief history of the Step Up movies? Are you able to do that, Laura?
Can I
I can
give you like Tommy's one line synopsis he gave
Yeah,
me earlier?
go.
Okay.
I didn't completely hate it.
Okay, that's the start.
Mhm.
So, any guys
Please
like,
come back after the break.
Well, I mean,
yeah, feel free to give us a rundown of the Step Up movies.
Oh, right, okay.
sorry, no, I was just gonna say, like, I mean, I've seen the trailers for most Step Up movies, and I was like, don't care. This one, I think, has got a bunch of stars that have been in all of them at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
But yeah, the basic premise
You
is,
mean they're all in?
Ah!
There's like Tater Tots in it.
Janet.
Channing Tatum.
Taters, no, he's not in it. He's too big for these movies. But yeah, like
It's
the
still
whole
humble.
Yeah.
the whole idea is that it's got most of the cast of all the other films, and they're coming together to try and win a contest in Vegas.
What?
Okay.
What kind of contest?
It's a dance contest.
Did you say you watched it in TV?
No,
Oh,
I didn't watch it in 3D. No.
Like, were there parts in the movie that were blatantly made for 3D?
Oh yeah.
Because like, I
There's
remember,
There's a bit in like Step Up 3D where they threw a hat.
Yeah, that's
And I was
what
like,
saying.
whoa!
because that was in the trailer before Avatar,
Yeah.
and I flinched out the
Yeah,
way of his hat,
yeah.
and then was unimpressed by the whole Avatar.
Yeah, that was all the comparison people made. Like, yeah, that hat though.
Yeah.
That hat was
I
good.
threw a hat at the screen and
Yeah,
I
the
actually
hat, the
went,
Oscar.
fucking hell.
Well, yeah. The dance competition is called the Vortex.
Oh,
Oh,
brilliant,
yeah.
fantastic.
And yeah, so it's think of any kind of cliche tact that's in it. It's always like this guy, like there's this guy who's kind of head of the main group, who are called Elementrix.
Oh, brilliant.
It's exactly how you think it is
None
spelled.
of
Okay.
it. All of these names so far have been exactly what I want from this
Yeah.
movie.
Well, anyway, so this guy is basically right, okay, guys, we're here. We're gonna do it. Like, it's a lifelong dream. We've all been working towards this because we all come from humble or
streets.
really bad backgrounds. And yeah, we're all going to get to know each other, and this will be great. And so there's him, and then there's this girl that they obviously is going to be love interest, and every kind of cliche kind of goes with that whole story arc.
Would you say it's like a modern day Sister Act?
Aye.
Was it Jessica Alba that started out in those movies?
No,
No,
she was
that's
in a
funny.
called Honey.
That's
Right,
Honey,
right,
it's
okay,
different.
sorry, okay.
No,
Oh, look, you see this sass hand coming up there? That's Honey, different thing.
yeah. But but yeah, that's all there. All the kind of cliches of everything. It's like, okay, so there's the main protagonist, and then it turns out that the guy who's in charge of the main protagonist, his best friend who he grew up with, is a rival fucking dance group. And it's like, oh god, yes, oh god,
It's
I
like
haven't seen you in ages. Did you just ignore me? Oh shit, we're gonna dance off, and what's gonna happen, you know? And then it's like,
is the main guy like a bit of a troubled teen, like a bit of a bad path, but like he's a good kid at heart.
they're
Like,
all
During the course
all
of the
of them.
film,
all
like,
of them
kinda-
have something like that.
he finds a place to belong, but then like something shatters that feeling.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
he has
right.
to pick
It's
himself up.
kind of around that. I mean, because like, there's a lot of bits to it where the guy's like, no, we're here to do a job, and if we win this resident in Vegas, then it means that, you know, we'll have stability. But then the girl who he likes is all like, oh, is that all it is? Because that's not what it all is for me.
Because
It's
he
about
needs to be
freedom.
danced with.
It's about dancing. And then,
It's
you know,
about what that dance represents.
Yeah.
to him.
yeah, and it's like at one point, you know, he feels really bad because he feels like he's lost his way. Like he was too busy thinking about winning. And again, he
I mean,
says
that was Rocky and Rocky 2.
he says shit
Yeah.
like what was it? I think one of the lines is something like, you know, we're all here to battle, but what you got to realize is life is a battle.
You're like,
Oh
what?
man.
And if all you do is think about winning, you forget about what you're losing.
Okay, test it.
So there's a lot of that, and honestly, like, see the main characters are all they're nice people. They're like, I was like, I don't think they're a bunch of douches. Like, I was like, oh man, stop being a fucking douche and being douchey about it. They're like, no, they seem really cool people, obviously very
How was the
talented.
dancing, Tom?
Do you
That's
guys
what you see.
I always think dancing's like so impressive.
It is. Again, like,
Do you know, like, our friend Davey Lau is like the manager of like a kind of street dance.
The jumping jalapenos or something?
Yeah.
Line
Line
jalapenos.
jalapenos.
But yeah, the dancing's actually really good. You can tell they're very, like, you can tell most of these people aren't actors. You know, they can't really deliver lots of. There's one of the dancers who I think's a mute, and then there's another dancer who's like, he's a guy, and then there's a girl mute and another one, and they kind of communicate doing like robot hands and stuff like that. And they look as if they're wanting to date, but you know, it's like, oh
Oh God, how do you date?
Loads of that,
It's
then.
hard enough when you can talk.
But
Through dance.
yeah. But yeah, you find out then that again, it's like, oh god, like the actual people that are running the contest in Vortex, spoilers. You find out that it's rigged, as in it's all about television. It's kind of like that whole Britain's Got Talent X Factor thing, where it's like we need good television to sell this. It's not about the dancing. It's not about, you know, the talent.
But
It's
views.
correct. It's like we need good television, and then it's more like, well, do you know what?
Fuck your
It's like,
system.
this isn't about this. And like again, as I said, main character has got a best friend. He beats him in the like in this.
How does he beat him?
in the-
Like a
The two of them have a dance off. The two crews have a dance off that takes place in a boxing ring, and the dancing's very good. And then,
Subtle.
yeah, and then it's like, oh man, enjoy that win. It's like, oh, I feel bad. I bet.
Are there like montages of boxing gloves hitting each other
No,
and exploding?
nothing like that. And then it's like they're like, oh god, like he's my best friend. I've not seen him in ages. I'll just beat him. I feel bad. But it's like come the end when they all know the whole thing's a fucking farce. Yeah, it's like you crew join our crew and we're gonna be one big
Super
like a
crew.
super crew. And and then they're gonna go all in, and they do, and it has that whole thing of the girl and the guy pretending it's like, I like you, and you know I like you, but I can't get with you because it's not the end yet, and that's when we kiss and stuff, and it's just got all that shit rammed
Do
into
they
it.
dance in the rain at some point, or like in a sprinkler system?
No, at one point.
Fountain outside one of the
They've
hotels.
already done that like a
No.
couple of times.
Yeah,
I think
there's
they're
no,
getting
I don't think so. But there's bits where like you see them dancing all over Vegas. So even when they're out just having a bit of R&R, they're still dancing all about the place and.
See, that would do my tits in. They'd be like, look guys, I know that you're like right at this dancing and that, but just fucking calm it. We're getting
I'm
some
trying to eat my
tips.
burger, guys, for
Exactly.
fuck's
You
sake!
fucking, you've already knocked my drink a couple of times, and you spilled some kebab meat.
Oh
Right.
shit!
But
Calm
yeah,
it.
I having not seen the other Step Up movies, I would imagine it's all pretty much the same
Yeah.
thing as this. It's kind of if you like street dancing and whatever, it'd be up your. It'd be up
Oh,
your
you know.
street. But at the same time, it's more like folk like.
2 out of 10.
Bring it back, alright.
Was it
Sorry.
Britain's Got Talent, X Factor? Wait, who was it that was on Britain's Got Talent that won it?
Diversity.
Diversity, yeah. So
I didn't
I
know
thought a dog won it. I thought it was that dog that got the movie.
there's been more than one Britain's
Did
Got Talent.
Diversity get a movie?
Yeah.
No,
They were in.
they have a show.
They were in Street Dance, weren't
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every Street United or something like that? Or
Dog
Diversity
got a
was-
movie.
But they were, I'm sure, like the Diversity were in it wasn't a Step Up movie, but it was like with George Sampson, isn't it? What's his name?
Yeah, yeah,
Street Dance?
Yeah, Street
No,
Dance.
Sampras is the tennis
Pete
player.
Sampras? Pete Sampras is Street Dance UK?
Anyway, yeah, but there was a bunch of them that were, like they had their own movie, which was I guess a Step Up movie, but it wasn't called Step Up.
It's called Street Dance. We've just said it like 3
Is it
times.
Street Dance UK?
See, that was a
No.
TV show, there was a movie called Street Dance.
I think it maybe
Ah.
called Street Dance.
Street Dance
Street
3D. I think it was in 3D.
It wasn't 3D. Right. So yeah, but that was Step Up. It was all right. I didn't hate it. Would I watch it again? Would I have gone out of my way to watch it? No.
Will you
it-
watch the other ones now?
No.
In the end, did they raise enough money to save the rec centre?
No. I don't. You know.
I wasn't paying attention, so
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's pretty much that.
The one that was in Witness Protection Scheme. Was
You never
really.
you never really. It just ended. It was like, so they win it.
please
win
put it in a freeze frame of them like dancing
Jumping.
jumping in the air.
The guy and girl protagonist, they finally kind of have a big kiss, and then it ends.
But like
What-
they're
what-
doing like handstands at the time.
What percentage of the soundtrack is Black Eyed Peas?
I don't think there's any Black Eyed Peas. But I'll tell you what, though, the soundtrack.
Soundtrack's banging.
Soundtrack
though,
was
isn't it?
excellent. There was just a
Did
lot
they
of
ever
dance
did they
music.
ever like coordinate the dance moves to like bass drops?
Mhm.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Did you ever
Come
feel
on,
like joining in?
101, Alan.
Oh, you've been doing that since the second movie, okay, when they went to the streets.
Did you
Sorry,
find
I forgot
yourself
the second one with the streets.
Did you
Okay.
find yourself kind of wiggling your hips a bit when you were watching it?
No.
No.
I'm sure folk did do
That's
that.
good,
Would do that.
Oh yeah, can't move on that ankle. Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it, but I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay.
I'm even more psyched to go and see this movie.
So the other big release of the week, possibly the biggest release of the year. So I'll see how the next one was.
Well, I think
I don't care.
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, the 10th movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 10 years old. Not 10 years old. 10 movies in. No.
That is pretty much 10 years old, though, isn't it?
No,
not if
to
it's
the
not
date with
Iron
Iron Man.
Man was 2008. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. So
Is it not always like pretty much just one movie a year?
No,
It
it's two
was
movies.
2008.
Definitely 2008.
So like one movie a year?
It was 2008.
So, Guardians of the Galaxy is it's the most out there movie that they've done yet. It's set.
It's out there, man.
It's
It's
not-
so trippy.
It's not set on Earth. It's set in space, and it's about a ragtag group of space
Mercenaries.
villains who have to come together to take
They're
on
not
the evil bad
villains.
guy. Well,
They are.
these are like he's a
They're all
one of them is an
lawbreakers.
assassin. Like two of them are bounty hunters.
That doesn't make
One of
them
them's a
villains.
professional thief,
You're called a thief. That's
Yeah.
and the other one is like
Drax is
some
he's a murderer.
yeah, maniacal.
Yeah, they're all.
Thing.
They're all. Yeah, they all.
I mean, yeah, all-
spoilers. They're all in prison. at one
They'll
point.
be in prison, so yeah. Maybe not villains, criminals. Sorry, there was
Criminals.
like criminals. is
Just
what
become
they're
a bad guy.
Doesn't mean I'm a bad guy.
Heroes.
Yeah. So they all have to come together or forced together to stop this this guy who is intent on.
Destroying
Destroying
some
a planet.
planet we've never heard of
Fucking
and don't
shit
care about.
I cared about it. I looked at the Citadel.
It looked like not Hellguest, Vector from the Killzone
It
stuff.
did look like Vector.
Yeah, modern day sci-fi city.
Yeah.
They all look the same.
Lots of water in white buildings.
Yeah, and grass in places
How do
that
you
you
keep them
wouldn't
fucking
think.
clean, man? Like, honestly. White buttons.
You don't set them in Glasgow.
Robots, little Roomba robots constantly. I loved it. I thought it was excellent. I thought it was tailor-made for everything that I want to be a movie. Want to be
Want to be a movie?
want a movie to be. Just great science fiction, great action, great comedy, great cast, great characters. It was colourful, it was fun. The music was fantastic as well. It never slowed down for a second. I loved it. I loved it. It kept it tied into the other Marvel movies in nice ways that aren't really that.
But it was its own thing as well.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
definitely had its own look to it in
Yeah,
terms of like,
absolutely,
yeah. I mean, I remember watching the first two trailers thinking, nope, I don't think it looks good. Third trailer, I was like, okay, I'm kind of warming up to it, but the lesson here is I shouldn't really doubt Marvel because again, it was excellent. Within the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the film, I got very comfortable in the universe that they kind of created. All the characters, like all the heroes, are likable. I would agree with what me and Pac were talking about. If there was to be one weak thing about it, it was probably Drax the Destroyer because he doesn't really live up to the name of Drax the Destroyer. He smacks a couple of people, but I'm like, man, I want him to go fucking balls out and really like Hulk somebody. But he doesn't really. And Dave Bautista is not an actor as such. He's all right, you know. But Rocket Raccoon's excellent. Groot is lovable. And Peter Quill is a great mix of Mal Reynolds and Han Solo.
I'm surprised how much I actually liked him in that film because I've not really liked anything else that Chris Pratt's done.
How can anyone
What do
dislike
you mean,
Chris
like,
Pratt?
well, you don't like the Lego movie.
Yeah, and like I didn't really like what I saw of him in Parks and Rec, and that's like the extent of what I know about
How
him.
much of Parks and Rec did you see?
horror-
I only saw like a couple of scenes with him in them. I
yeah.
wasn't too impressed at all.
He's excellent.
I'm getting the disgust look of a Paul.
Yeah, he's-
I'm a.
He's so lovable!
Yes, in this movie he is.
Like he's doing Andy Dwyer.
Yeah.
But he's muscly.
Yeah.
So there's that going for it.
Yeah, and then Rocket's just Han Solo, Groot's Chewie, Zoe Saldana is a nice mix of Black Widow and Leia. You know, there is definitely a lot of folk like it's like Star Wars, and you definitely get that feel of like it's very cheesy at bits. It's very action adventure-y. But yeah, like after I'd watched it, I was like, I could go watch that again.
I did. I got up the next morning and went to watch it.
Yeah, like I remember I was with you, and you was like, man, you watched that last night, right? He's like, no, I'm psyched to watch it for a second time. But yeah, I thought, like, a lot of folk are saying, right, it's better than the Avengers.
No,
I don't
it's
think
not.
so.
It's absolutely not.
But I can understand the comparison, obviously, but being it's both Marvel, it's a group of heroes. I can't wait for the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie. The only things that I kind of let it down a wee bit is there's a lot of times where it feels a bit too kiddie-ish and cheesy, but those are mine. And Drax the Destroyer's like it doesn't reach its full potential. But other than that, yeah, I don't really have a lot to say. I'm nitpicking if anything because I thought it was very enjoyable. I even like the bits where just little bits where it gets a bit. It's quite. I mean, it starts off very grim. There's a very grim start.
They kind of get that out of the way quick, and it's like, okay, now.
But they do that, but then every now and then they bring you back to like a character like Rocket, for example.
Yeah, that bit was really effective.
Yeah, I was like, that gives you an insight of this character, and it's only a couple of lines. So I was like, I like that because it kind of makes him a bit more.
And in a movie that is like introducing 5 main characters, then a lot of like kind of secondary characters and like 2 main villains, you need those little bits to like kind of. Yeah, to kind of be like, okay, this is why you're invested in these guys. They're not just like.
And it does a good solid job of kind of. I mean, at one point they have quite an explicit scene talking about like, oh, we're all a bunch of losers, and they do they do a good job of like not just having that very explicit scene, but instead like having the drunk Rock at the moment of kind of self doubt and kind of Drax having a bit of a. And the opening does set up a really nice of loss and of trying to find each other and find yourself and find where you belong in the universe.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, like in terms of like characters, I mean, Groot just says "I am Groot," and they do so well with that in terms of like having Rocket like say, "What do you mean there are like? Yeah, I know there are best friends. I am Groot."
That was like a total kind of
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
Really.
But again, it's like because you think a lot of folk before that movie like Vin Diesel's in to just say 3 words and do what, and you're like Groot is one of the best things about it.
But again, that didn't have to be Vin Diesel. That could have been anybody.
I don't know if you've seen Iron Giant. His voice work is impeccable.
I was really, really disappointed in Iron Giant. Like, I thought I was going to love it because, like, I bought that after watching The Incredibles because it's directed by Brad Bird.
Yeah.
And I was all like, fucking Incredibles was incredible. Like, surely nothing Brad Bird has done can be anything short of amazing. And I watched Iron Giant and was like, that was crap.
Wow.
I think maybe it was at the certain time that we watched it that it was maybe you watching The Incredibles maybe it was just pushed your expectations a bit too high. But
Iron Giant's a very different movie.
Iron Giant is
as well.
a completely different movie. But I really liked that Vin Diesel was great because he's such a major geek that he loves Marvel and he breathes his stuff. And
He's like a
dungeon master.
He's a Dungeons and Dragons master and he loves it.
He was only actually scheduled to go in for 1 day of like recordings.
And do as many as
he was there for like a whole week.
Do you know how much he did
with mocap
for Groot? Yeah, like was he on scene at all?
He just came into
Rocket and Tim were Rocket. Yeah, Rocket. I'm talking about Rocket like it's a real fucking thing. Bradley and Vin were not on set.
They were just tennis balls.
Yeah. Well, I think James Gunn's brother
was Rocket.
Sat in for like
on set.
some of the stuff.
Oh, okay.
But Vin Diesel like went to the recording sessions like on stilts and stuff like to try and get the character and all that, and he was really, really up for it.
That's good.
Yeah.
You can't really fault Vin Diesel's passion, even if his acting is so bad.
I think that's why everyone is like so like he likes him so much because he does just seem like an enthusiastic guy who loves doing what he does.
Yeah, and it's kind of like I don't want to say it's like the Hulk where they see this character and utilize him in the best way. There's loads of really great bits where Rocket's talking about a plan of escape.
Yeah, that
is. Groot's in the background. They use that whole thing as a really cool joke. There's a bit where Groot is at his most brutal and violent, where he shish kebabs a bunch of folk, and then
that bit is so anime inspired.
Man, throws them about the place, and then turns and smiles
like they do such a good job of setting up him as like literally the background character, the person who you want to watch, where everyone else is talking. You want to see how he's reacting.
He's in his own world, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like as I said, though, as well, it's like really weird that whenever Groot's in the scene, you just kind of feel like everything's going to work out already.
Yeah, we're a bit safer.
Yeah, it's all good.
I mean, he is the bodyguard.
He's doing a good job.
And they do such a good job of the whole. Right, he's a protector, and just the way he kind of like feels towards like against his friends. And there's some quite heartwarming and heart-wrenching bits with him and Rocket, just as like you see where their friendship's at, and just what they end up doing with Groot is excellent. Just like come the
climax.
the climax movie just before the credits is like excellent. Yep, bring it on. More please.
Can I level some criticisms at this so that we can continue talking about it and end on a high note?
If you want.
Break it down, Becca.
I did really like the film a lot more than I thought it was going to.
I thought you were ahead.
Yeah, from the trailers, I thought all the trailers looked shit. Like, I really did not like the look at any of them at all. I mean, like, from the first couple of minutes, when you see Chris Pratt dancing kind of thing, like, on this abandoned planet, like, you kind of know what the whole film's going to be.
Yeah,
after that. Like,
absolutely,
there's no way you can...
Just even the way the titles flash up on screen,
Yeah,
it's just like...
you can't sit there and, like, seriously critique it.
Yeah,
At that point, it's like, you know...
It's just so
Because
much
it's not
fun.
taking
Yeah.
itself
that's
seriously,
not what the
so-
movie is.
Yeah.
Like, that aside, though, I think that as much as like the action and the direction's all good and stuff like that, I think that the character designs are all pretty fucking rubbish.
Okay.
Like, everything looks cheap and shitty. Not like, sorry, every person looks cheap and shitty. Like, they all look like they should be in low-budget TV shows rather than Hollywood blockbuster movies.
See,
But
I think the colour saturation, I do understand what you're getting, because it is very much like a Babylon 5 kind of palette of...
Not even that. Like, it just... Like I said it like loads of times watching the trailers and stuff, and it's carried over in the film. It looks like Doctor Who. They all look as bad as the characters.
No, I will agree with that. Like, I do feel that, like, the assistant girl, the pink people,
Yeah,
the people that pink,
all the ones that
it's
just they're human but a different
it's
colour.
very flat.
It's
I feel that they could have maybe done a bit more shading and a bit more variation in the colour palette to make them look like it's actually not just a person painted pink.
Yeah,
And I agree with
they
that.
all look like crap villains from like Stargate Atlantis.
So I think as well, I'm fairly sure that we not talk about this, and you were like, well, I was like, yeah, they look like that, but you're like, yeah, well, that's how it would have been.
Yeah, that's the
so
thing.
like, yeah, so that's why it can be confused as if this is a comic.
It's not really the movie's fault, because you do get the impression that what you're seeing on the screen is a faithful representation of what the comic.
But there's a difference. But there's having a faithful representation, and to its detriment, there's an adaptation. That's the point.
This
It's an
definitely was
adaptation.
that. I think it
So
was.
they maybe should have. It reminded me very much of the Green Ladies from Star Trek.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, guys, like, it didn't bother me that much, but just thinking about it, it does remind me of that. And I'm like, it's an adaptation, and you're trying to make everything as not detrimental to this movie, and that kind of...
Also, like, making a point of having him be a human who's been abducted and taken to a different part of the galaxy, and yet there's like so many people who look human.
Yeah, see, I mean, that was one of the things I noticed when there's the scene with the jail. There's where's all? I was like, there's a couple of aliens, but most of these people look human.
Yeah, they look humanoid. They have weird faces.
Like, all of John C. Reilly's planet.
Yeah, actually, they have the Nova Corps, though. Like, they're like
they look like they could just be human.
Yeah, but they're not supposed to be like.
And just because they look and they have a different genetic makeup, it's all kind of.
Well, that was a bit lazy.
They kind of explore that with like Peter Quill's character, given the fact that he's.
Right.
Well, it's like it's.
Is it the end of the movie, so we're not going to talk about it?
It's at the very beginning.
It's at the very beginning.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think like what I only got that watching the second time. I was like,
See, no,
Yeah,
I go right there. I was like, oh, that's
instantly,
super weird how she said that. Like,
yeah, because
Like,
I thought
everybody
she was
just
just
thinks
having
she's
like a.
mental. But like,
Yeah.
you're like, no, this is a Marvel
No,
movie.
see, I thought she had like a cancer coma or something. Like, I was freaking out.
Well, like as Tommy said as well, I was really unimpressed by Drax. Like, I thought that not only was he just insignificant in the film, but he also brought the film down because his dialogue was fucking atrocious. It was really terrible. Like, all this stuff.
Delivery of the dialogue.
Like the dialogue itself was pretty bad as well. Like, all this stuff at the end was like, I am so glad to once again have friends. I was like, I don't fucking care. When you open your mouth, I get bored. Like, every time it was on the screen, I was like,
I quite like the end of that, because the joke, it kind of ends on a joke and it ends in a kind of cool way as well. Like the whole thing about them being the Guardians of the Galaxy and them coming together as friends and things like that. I don't know. I just think that, as I said, Drax the Destroyer, multiple murderer.
You want to see him be like a.
He didn't really live up. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I want to see him go massacre innocents. It was more like I didn't see him, like you said, be the wrecking ball.
You want to just see him just fucking wreck everything in his path. That's what his name is.
I thought when they were breaking out of the prison, he had some pretty.
He had one or two good moments, but not enough.
I think.
Like, he also is like just a really redundant character, because Gamora is like an amazing technical assassin and Groot's the muscle.
Without kind of like the whole point is to kind of build him up as the sort of end of second act sacrifice, I suppose. The whole point is to build him up as this indestructible, really, really scary to then be
destroyed.
taken down.
Yeah.
Also, he's like
And-
he's there for being like the loose link in the chain.
yeah, exactly. His arc is about learning that he needs.
I just didn't think he really brought it.
And also, I liked how, like, because Rocket and Quill in particular are like really sarky and jokey stuff, having a character in there who
It's logical,
does not
logical,
compute
yeah.
that at all
Well,
was
yeah.
pretty funny.
I thought, like, I mean, this is not an actor, but I thought he carried
did
the kind of
alright.
dry, like, comic timing quite well. I thought, like, yeah, did a good job with it.
Yeah.
And I liked his makeup. I
Like,
thought,
yeah, that bit with like
His
the
finger
dead
across the throat.
killing motion. That
His
was funny.
makeup was pretty cool. Like he did
That
look amazing.
That must have taken
fucking
Hours.
so long. Yeah. But it was just really superfluous. I thought, like, but I mean, those are like the only criticisms I can level at this. Like everything else about it was just so fucking fun. Like I think again, like fun is like the optimal
Yeah.
word for this.
Oh yeah.
And like you're saying that, I know I've spoken to at least two people who like says Drax was their favourite character. Like Rocket was my favourite character. Groot was Lauren's favourite character. Like,
See, like
there's just there's something for everybody.
I couldn't pick between Rocket, Groot, and even Star Lord.
I really like
Okay.
Star Wars
Yeah.
as well.
Like all the bits, like again for him being maybe not because of the way the story goes, but like for him, for the most part, being just the average Joe human. Like all the bits where they were fighting and he's like doing the really fast gunplay, like not really looking where he's shooting but still getting people. That was all really well done.
Yeah.
And like the use of like his wee kind of jet kind of boots
Yeah.
to get him about. Like he spends so much time in his back just skidding around the floor. Like again, done in a really kind of fun way. I don't know. Did I say this in the show earlier, or was it just when I was talking to you, Tom, about how like so many folk compare this to Star Wars?
Yeah.
You did say
Because
the
it's like a does it in the show?
Or just
Because it's like a space opera
Yeah,
thing, but it's so much more like Pirates of the Caribbean. Did I say that earlier?
No, you said it before we started.
But like it's that whole kind of swashbuckling adventure, kind of with the mix of comedy. Like Star Wars doesn't have that element.
I think that's just I think it's just the step forward. It's the evolution of people who watch Star Wars, but
Bringing
not
that
made
with
Pirates of
them,
the
yeah.
Caribbean kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean, it's just Star Wars.
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Or the
kinda,
ships.
but
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
it's a lot more kind of like even slapsticky kind of thing. You know,
But it's just as the steps forward, it's people
Yeah.
realising like what can
Han
we
and
do more
Chewie are
of this?
space pirates, so you know it's.
yeah, but like there's just. I mean, there's like little laughs in Star Wars, but there's never.
I don't know. Like there's
Nothing in Star Wars that's
It's-
anywhere near as
yeah.
funny as Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, they do kind of, or like they do kind of push the humor a lot in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I mean then the film worked out because this is no doubt I'd say Marvel's biggest gamble because Guardians of the Galaxy has not been around for a long time. I think it was the late '70s the comic
Yeah.
started.
And then even then, it died off and only got
Died.
revived.
Yeah,
like,
it's
well,
like
yeah,
and
it's-
nobody knows who the hell they are. I mean, they got a vague like. I mean, what was it? Well, when Thor comes out, it's like folk kind of know who he's the God of Thunder.
But yeah, but Thor was a gamble. Remember, like
Thor was a gamble, but it's like Guardians of the Galaxy is like I didn't know who the fuck they were. And I'm like, man, I
And then when someone describes to you, and like there's a tree and a raccoon, you're like,
yeah, it's like how is this going to work?
How-
And then-
how-
Like,
gonna fit in
did
with
you not,
Iron Man?
but, like that's the thing. Did you not also think at the end of this, you could totally see it fitting in with Iron Man
Yeah.
and stuff like
yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Like,
That's why I cannot wait until
To see the reaction,
Avengers
yeah.
3 when they
These guys
eventually
turn up,
meet
yeah.
each other. It's got,
It's, like, it's so strange. Like you don't really. I mean, you've got like Thor and you've got like the Dark Elves and stuff that all look a bit different and stuff. And
Did you
the
see
previous
like one of
Marvel
the Dark
ones.
Elves was in the collector's
I was
tank?
paying so much close attention in the collector scene, just looking for all these little like
No,
Yeah,
it's
but-
yeah.
The dog. I
The
thought
dog.
it was
Sonic Man, Sonic.
fucking fantastic. But yeah, like like you in the previous ones, you always had these fantastical events, but they were all relatively grounded.
Grounded in reality, yeah.
And then in this one, it's just like, no, that's out the window. Yeah. Like in a way that's like it's still related to those ones, but
Yeah.
now those ones can all
Like, I
light
kind
up.
of got like a little tingle when we first mentioned Thanos. Then it's like when we go and visit him, you're like, oh, shit.
He looks bad.
That's right.
Like,
That's-
see if they've introduced him in one of the older ones,
Even though
I would have
give
been
a
like,
shit,
he
yeah.
looks fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But in this one, you can like, yeah, okay. I can
And I-
He's like rock throwing, and he's like, yeah.
What were you gonna say, Paul?
Talking about kind of it was a gamble already this movie, but the gamble of having the collector scene in it, where that is such a giant like, okay guys, you kind of have to pay attention a lot, but at the same time you don't really have to pay like for the long term. You need to really know this, and it was really like,
Yeah.
here's the plot dump, here's
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
that's going to say.
Here's literally some diagrams and
to try and sync this all up for you. And it was good how contained that was, and how it was just like it was very explicitly like we're going to take a moment out of the movie, go and do this,
Yeah. It's
and
like
then we're back
you
into
remember
it.
the Ether from Thor 2, and you remember the Tesseract?
Yeah.
Yeah,
These are important,
yeah.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about how good Rocket and Groot looked? Like,
Yeah,
can
yeah.
we just
Like
Yeah.
man,
the close-ups, man?
one of my favourite
Fucking
bits.
hell.
One of my favourite bits visually is when Rocket wakes up from sleeping.
Yeah, he's all massive.
His fur's all up. That's great. It's a brilliant wee touch.
Like, I personally, when watching this movie, like I do prefer it to the Avengers. It just has. It reminded me of when I first saw A New Hope. That I was this giddy, like heartwarming kind of like I want to go and join them in this big adventure. Like I want to be like Star-Lord and be an assassin and have like a tree friend.
Yeah.
Where does it go from there though, man? Like,
It's just that's just the exciting thing is because anything is possible.
Yeah,
Like
something a little good, something a little bad.
did you guys get like a Mass Effect vibe?
I mean,
Oh God,
yeah,
yeah.
well, all the different races and like.
Like whenever it went to like a new
Yeah.
location,
Yeah.
it was like it kind of showed you like the name of the planet,
Yeah.
like an kind of exterior shot. It was like,
And that place that Ken looks like Omega a little bit. Like,
well, I mean,
yeah, I was just
the,
waiting for Arya to turn up.
the,
Just
the
like,
collector's place just made me think of the end of Mass Effect 2.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
big time.
yeah. But yeah, like also like I thought Ronan was a pretty good villain.
It's alright.
Like
It looked ridiculous.
I thought it looked fine, but I didn't really like Karen Gillan that much. She was a
Well,
bit
I like
Karen
She
Gillan.
was alright, but
She-
not over the top for my taste.
She for me was one of the like more underdeveloped
Yeah.
parts of it.
I like the stuff with her and Gamora. I
I
thought
thought
it
it wasn't quite enough or enough
Yeah.
emphasis, and so kind of when the final confrontation of like these two sisters and like the stuff because like they're both these adopted daughters, but both are going to be messed up by Thanos.
Yeah, that
and that's
itself
really
was
interesting.
really
Yeah, like
good.
really, and then they've both been like rented out, and Gamora's used to sit and like they both then betray, but that's what.
Like, I thought Gamora was like the most badass out of with a lot of them.
Mhm.
Like the most.
She was the most Black Widowish.
Yeah, if they all fought each other, I think she would win.
That's what you're supposed to think.
Yeah, well, I do think that.
Yeah, she's been raised to be a weapon.
Yeah, she was by Thanos.
I also think that they played it very smart. That you just get just enough information
Yeah.
about all 5 of these guys for you to be invested, but you don't. I don't know anything about these guys. Like I don't know where Rocket came from. Like he's
Oh, yeah.
genetically.
Yeah, you know the basics.
You know
but
the basics, and like Gamora, I want to know like what did Thanos do to her planet? What and like then
Yeah.
Karen Gilligan turns up, and I was like, Karen Gilligan, this is the best thing that you've ever been in. Like you're rubbish in Doctor Who.
She looked
and
her makeup.
her makeup was
She looked
brilliant.
I think like if she's like what was her name?
I like
Nebula.
Nebula,
yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Who's Amy Pond?
she had like
Doctor Who's shit anyway.
she was kind of alright, but like she had a total like 7 and 9 from Star Trek Voyager rip off IP stuff.
Oh yeah.
She had a great swagger though. Like her
She did.
like total
Yeah, no.
rotating shoulder
Like,
walk
she
that she
had,
had going on.
Really cool, like a robotic arm, and you know.
Oh yeah,
I
as soon as she
really
gets
want
fucked up, it's like she all like goes back into place.
Well, isn't it like she's all robotic? Is the impression I got?
Pretty, she's like a
Like
cyborg.
some
She's
kinda,
majorly cyborg.
like, Organic robotic hybrid thing.
But like, there's a scene like towards the end where like, so one of the scenes where Ronan kind of meets Thanos and like kind of stands up to him, and Thanos is like, "Oh shut up, boy." And then later on, when Ronan is a bit more powerful, and he's like, "I'm coming for you."
Yeah.
And then when he steps off the ship, and all the people are there, and like, there's just one shot of this woman who just like kind of starts sobbing the second she sees him. You're like, this guy is bad news.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I think we kind of discussed it, but just the idea that they're all kind of not fuck ups, but they're all kind of silly a lot of time. Like there's a bit where like obviously Drax is really concerned about how he wants to take down like Ronan, he wants to get revenge, and then he does like one of the most stupidest things and puts them in like a lot of peril.
Well, he's had a few drinks at that point.
Yeah,
so.
but that's what I'm saying. It's like oh for God's sake, and then it's like there's a bit where Rocket and that are trying to go on a rescue mission, and his plan
That's
is
so funny.
it's
that bit.
funny because it's so bloody stupid. And like, there's loads of bits with the fact that they're all of them.
He's like, oh, hey, Quill, how's it going?
Yeah, it's like a lot of they work well as characters because all of them are just you're like, oh for fuck's sake.
They're on the
it's so
same
also-
level of
yeah.
silliness.
The bits where Rocket just takes it upon himself to take the piss at disabled people as well. It's like so many occasions where he's like, I fucking need that guy's prosthetic leg.
Yeah.
And he's like laughing to himself.
Yeah.
Like,
The robotic eye
I
bit.
don't need that.
Yeah. No, it's really good. But yeah, a big surprise for me. I guess you should never doubt Marvel.
That's the
but-
thing I came away with, just thinking like this, they're just untouchable. They're just.
You like you say that, man, but that's you setting yourself up for a massive
Yeah.
disappointment.
Yeah, but I've done that for the past like 6 years. Every time I think I was going to
Well,
be great.
I
it just-
suppose I'm not on
Like,
the, I'm not on the same
we're not
boat.
on the
here,
same
yeah.
boat. It's like we didn't
'Cause
like
they've
Ant-Man 3,
fucked
so
up a few times for me.
James Gunn did a very good job.
Yeah.
Enthusiastic, very good, zippy, very
Yeah.
just fast and exciting.
Yeah, like even the moments of like kind of
Quietness, yeah.
kind of more somber tones, like it could just turn on a dime and be like when they all like do the whole bit where they're standing up playing rock. It's like, okay, now I'm standing, my chariot standing in a circle.
Yeah.
It's like just brings it back to just being like.
Do you remember a while back, like I'm talking maybe like fucking 2 years ago or something, we were talking about the other kind of Guardians of the Galaxy-esque thing set in San Fran, Tokyo.
Yeah, that was the trailer for that. It's like a fully animated thing. It's nothing to do with it. It's called Big Hero 6.
But like,
It's just straight up. It's just
there's more of a chance of that getting, you know, like a decent release now that Guardians has kind of came out. And,
Big Hero 6 looks really good fun though.
I'm trying to think, what was it
cool.
Guardians to like 93 million in its opening weekend? You're like, that's like Captain America numbers kind of thing. So
Is that worldwide or is that?
do you know what I mean?
It came out here first.
Is it
Yeah.
your usual kind of?
So I'm not too
first?
sure. So I mean, yeah, not taking in. I thought it was just US, but I'm not sure it's taking in like worldwide box office. It's kind of like I think Transformers was 200 million, but that was worldwide.
Yeah.
So US alone, I'm not sure what that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, it was a gamble that paid off. But yeah, James Gunn, even again, is in himself is a gamble because he's not that well known a
No.
director.
was he the one involved in Winter Soldier?
No, Winter Soldier was the community directors.
Yeah.
The brothers.
I mean, he did direct the scene at the end of Winter Soldier, like the collective scene.
Yeah.
No, wait, sorry, that was
That's
Thor.
it,
God,
yeah.
they
No,
plan it
'cause-
really far in advance, don't they?
Yeah, because he worked for like you remember the Toxic Avenger, like Trauma. Like
Yeah.
he worked for them. I think he wrote the screenplay for Dawn of the Dead.
He did
Zack
Super,
Snyder's
remember
one.
Super?
Yeah.
He did Super and he did Slither. Now,
Super's
those
really, really
all
dark.
those things, and then it's like, right, Marvel have got this multi-million-dollar
Mm-hmm.
gamble,
Risk here.
and we're gonna like, right, okay, we're gonna hire
Yeah.
you because you seem to get
We've
it.
already had a failure. Like, there's a complete contrast to the thingy Evans, Gareth Evans.
Yeah.
Like, he did fuck all. He did Monsters, which was pish. And they were just like, some people liked it, some people didn't. The Monsters are the humans, oh my god. And then Warner Brothers and Village were like, right, here's Godzilla. Here's our multi-million monster movie, big spectacle movie, which is very similar to Guardians as a spectacle movie. You do it. And that was shit.
But like, did it
No,
not?
but
Like,
that-
it
it made
was
money,
critically panned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No, it
seriously,
wasn't. It
it's-
wasn't
even
critically
critically
panned.
panned, yeah,
It wasn't
give me
critically
some
panned.
more.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
It made money.
but it made money.
It made
Whereas,
money, but
yeah, you're coming from. Like,
it's
I know what
seen
you
that
mean.
kind of contrast of this unknown director to giving this kind of
Yeah.
piece of shit, and then
It's
this.
just been this like giving John Favreau Iron Man was a
Yeah.
strange decision.
Yeah.
Giving Kenneth Branagh Thor.
Mhm.
Giving the community.
It wasn't a
That's
strange
true.
decision.
But it's like
Kenneth
it's odd though. You wouldn't think.
Yeah, but you're like
Kenneth
John
Branagh-
Favreau. What's he done? Oh, he directed Elf.
Yeah.
Okay, right. You know Iron
Yeah.
Man,
You
right?
guys have obviously
Okay.
never seen Hamlet. That's 4 hours long and is ridiculous.
No, Kenneth
And
and-
then like, oh, we're giving the community guys, the sitcom, the silly Chevy Chase
It's
silly
like,
guys.
do you know what?
They're getting
Giving a
the Winter
TV
Soldier.
director,
Yeah.
They did a
Yeah.
fucking
I know, they
job
did,
with that old man.
Yeah.
They
But
just
Marvel
just
just seemed to know how
Man,
to
was
handle.
Winter Soldier this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
fuck. I know, right?
Thor was late last year, and
Yeah.
Iron Man was the first one.
But Marvel have just they seem to have this knack for getting the right people involved. I like unorthodox like names, like you said, the guys who did Community, and then it was like, man, Captain America, can they do action? Because they did the sitcom. James Gunn, who did this week creature film Slither, and he wrote down it's like, can he
Slither
do
wasn't
this?
even that good.
I've not seen it, but it's like, yeah, it's like, can he do this kind of thing? They just seem to have an eye for talent and putting them with the right people to develop the script, develop the third movie, and looking great. It's like that's like this guy James Gunn will be like, kind of like the guys from Captain America. It's like, there you go. There's the keys.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
want to make the next? You want to make the
Do
next
the
one?
next
You
one.
can do it because we know you can do
That's the
it.
thing as well. Like, by the time it came to the end, I got Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, I could watch more of this.
Yeah.
And then when it flashed on the screen, they all returned. Like,
Yeah, I just loved it. That's little touch, like. I just,
There will be more of this,
yeah,
guys.
it's just
Like,
it's
you know.
reassuring. I could watch more.
Well, I think it's like
next 20
I
years.
think James Gunn has said he's already started writing the sequel.
Cool.
I mean,
I would love to see the Guardians of the Galaxy as a TV show.
Yeah,
Like, just
right,
like
yeah.
following, like maybe like their origins, like just how Rocket came to be and.
See, that's what's weird when we watch the Marvel movies. It's like watching the world's like longest running TV show with the biggest gaps in between episodes.
Yeah, biggest budgets and
Yeah.
best acting talent. Like it's the ridiculous dream castings that you wish you do with TV
Yeah.
programs, and it's actually
Yeah.
happening in front of you.
Like, let's get Robert
Yeah.
Redford to play this guy and
Yeah,
run the
yeah.
show. Yeah, sure.
It's not like yeah, like you said,
Man,
the
I could
TV show.
do watching Winter Soldier again. That fucking.
It's
film.
like-
I was bored one night and I just walked around and just watched it because I was like, I want to watch a great movie again.
It's like
I'll just go myself.
like way back when Marvel Studios, like in 2008, were like, right, this guy has got a plan and it's going to last all the way up to like 2015, 2016 is like all these movies are going to make sense, kind of like you're watching a big, huge TV show. And for the patience and the work in that, it's incredible. It's just a shame that you don't get a lot more like folk like that now, where they'll take their time to develop the script and do the right thing with sequels and that. Whereas Marvel, like, no, we know what we're doing.
Trust us.
Yeah,
It's
come
cool.
come at us, Warner Brothers, with your DC.
It's kind of odd to think that we're quite close to the end of the year again already, like last quarter.
Get those questions ready, Paul.
The top 5 films of the year, 2 of them.
2 of them,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or Marvel movies.
So, Guardians of the Galaxy is fantastic. You should go and watch it. Next week, In Between Us 2.
Okay.
That'll be
Yeah.
hellish. Yeah.
Huge.
I'm sure it'll be pretty good.
Hope so.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah, I
better.
really hope it is.
Uh,
They're all looking old now, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they do not look school
they
age
must be all in the
anymore.
30s now, right? So join us next week when we're talking about that. Hopefully something else, because we probably won't get half an hour's worth of discussion
Coming out,
of
yeah.
In Between Us 2. So
I'll watch
I know.
Step Up 5.
cool. I'll maybe watch some Netflix stuff, trying to brush up. But join us next week. We'll have more.
Oh man, can I do that total like last minute just crap brain fart thought?
Okay.
What happened to Eddie Murphy? What happened?
Let's leave it with that. What happened to Eddie Murphy? Join us next
Me
week.
and Tom watched Beverly Hills Cop 2 and Coming to America,
Right?
and he is excellent in those films.
I love Coming to America.
What the fuck
Yeah.
happened? How can somebody who's that
Good
good?
kids.
Money, the
Yeah.
bunch.
Yeah.
Did anyone else see the Deadpool test footage?
No, I didn't.
What do
Yeah.
you think?
Man,
Man.
I don't know. It looks like Deadpool.
I don't think the writing was as clever as they
No.
seemed to. Like,
They thought it was a lot cleverer than they thought it was. And he didn't mention Jimmy Chungus, so
This was like 5 years ago they made this. I'm sure. I mean, comic book movies have changed. They'll have to step the game up.
I think there is still a place for Deadpool in the
Oh,
comic book movies.
I just got a tweet from my mate Steven who says he did have the proton pack.
Cool.
Nice
There we
to
have
meet
it. Mystery solved.
Thanks, Bridges.
So yeah,
Love you, dog.
now we are actually finishing.
Okay.
Paul plays out Raptors In The Kitchen.
Do, 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 do.